At the very beginning of the play, we see a young lady who has been separated from her daughter because this, again, it takes place in Birmingham, Alabama in the 60s, and her daughter had to use the washroom, and the young lady went to the colored washroom, and it was occupied, and so she took her daughter out back in the alley, and it was so filthy back there. She brought her back in and sent her daughter into the white washroom, and that caused a lot of havoc. If she hadn't been caught, it wouldn't have been a problem. She was caught. That sort of kicks off the story, and it's behind that incident that the guys in the movement said, this is how we're going to mobilize the black community to protest the way African Americans are treated. What does really excite me about this particular play, The Good Negro, is that it's sort of based on historical facts. We're unveiling a lot of things that people just don't know. They know about what happened and what the reaction was, but that there were actually people behind the scenes who were making decisions on how to go about it, knowing what would be most effective in bringing this whole segregation issue down. Tracy Scott Wilson and I worked together years ago here at the Goodman on her play The Story, and we just clicked. And then when we did the show here at the Goodman, it was all homework, you know. She's a really nice person and a very great collaborator. She also has a certain style that I love in terms of the way her scenes bleed from one to the other seamlessly. You don't have a break. It's the last time I worked with her, I mentioned it. It's sort of like watching Law and Order. You know, bam, 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 bam. There's no breaks. There's no like changing scenery, going from here to here. We change the scene. No, go right into the next scene. One scene leads immediately into the next scene, and I love that because it doesn't give the audience a chance to sit back, relax, or they must keep their attention on the play, and that's my that's my style. I love that. Yeah. We sort of get the feeling it's Dr. King because he's the leader of the movement, and Dr. King was the leader of the movement. And I think the most important link that we can see there as a strong relationship between the lead character and his assistant, very similar to Dr. King and Ralph Abernathy. We see a lot of characters that we know from that time if we are aware of the individuals involved, like Dr. King, Ralph Abernathy, Jesse Jackson Jr., Julian Bond, Andrew Young. They're all represented in these characters. We see snippets of all of them in the three characters. Well, what I'm hoping that audiences will take from this play is a knowledge of something that happened 50 years ago that is very much still in in the minds of many Americans that happened. That was probably one of the most important things that ever happened in this country, in terms of freedom and justice for all, and know that it wasn't an accident, that it was a planned thing, that it was thought over carefully by very smart men who knew what they were doing. It was organized and made to happen by heroes. some youth today don't even look at it in terms of as an important event. You know, they look at it with the same ambivalence as they do the Revolutionary War. You know, they don't. Nobody. You know. So what? George Washington would be crying today if he was. You guys don't know what it took. You know, but and the people of the Civil Rights era are saying the same thing. You guys don't know what it took. People died. People gave their lives for this thing. So I want the audience to know it happened because there were people who were behind the scenes that made it happen. I'm really looking forward to presenting this play at the Goodman. I think it's a wonderful play. It just rings like something that the Goodman Theater should put on. It's compact, but its subject matter is huge, and we do that kind of stuff very, very well here at the